the largest map art in survival Minecraft. This piece, called Ashes, is 50 blocks wide and 80 blocks tall for a total of 4,000 individual maps, and it was all built on the anarchy server 6v6t by a group of 4 players named Sniffer Squad. At over 65 million blocks total, Ashes was completed in just 13 days of non-stop placing. While Ashes is the largest map art ever created in survival Minecraft, the story of its creation is rooted deep into the history of 6v6t map arts, as this piece was born from spite and a quest for glory. Today, let's take a deeper look into the history of map arts on 6v6t and talk about the drama that led to this record-breaking artwork being created. Sniffer Squad as a group was only created for the building of Ashes and disbanded shortly after its completion. So, why was it built in the first place? Well, we can get back into Ashes later. First, we need to talk about a different group, Albedo Gang.
Do you have any orders for me to obey?
In the map art community, Albedo Gang was often considered to be the best. Their works were often featured throughout different Discord servers, as well as shown off in private collections. While other map art groups started appearing with equally impressive works, it was generally considered in the 6B community that Albedo Gang was considered the peak. Amateur map artists would look up to Albedo Gang as a clan they wanted to join, hoping that one day their works would stand together. Albedo Gang continued to dominate gallery pages in many clan discords, with their map arts being stunning and smooth, somehow avoiding the issues that plagued other works. You see, when you make a map art, the colors are never 100% correct, and there are stray pixels everywhere. This might be corrected by using an equation known as dithering, which adds seemingly random pixels for the illusion of more colors. Let's use an example on Rebane's Map Art Craft website. This tool allows you to create your own map arts, and I'll upload a picture of my cat, Roki.
So stupid.
We can already see that the image is pixelated, but this is using every single block in the game. It would be incredibly inconvenient to get 27 stacks of clay and 19 stacks of cobwebs, so most map artists just use carpets. However, this blurs the image even more. We can increase the size of the image to get better quality, but sometimes Minecraft blocks just do not match the colors of the image. This is where dithering comes in. Dithering will add 2 different colored blocks next to each other in order to give the illusion of adding actual color balance. For the image of Roki, we can see a lot of purple and pink carpets mixed in with the black, and if you wanted to experiment, there are different equations for how dithering is calculated. Great, so now we know what dithering is, but what does that have to do with Albedo Gang? Well, their map arts didn't have dithering. When compared in map art galleries on Discord, Albedo Gang maps would always look more like a complete smooth image. This is because of a mod named MipMapMip. It changed how Minecraft renders maps, removing the dithering and smoothing out the image. Other map artists would never be able to compare because Albedo Gang was secretly using this mod to improve their works, and would never let anyone see the originals. They did this for a long time and never told anyone about the mod's usage. It wasn't that the images were a bit smoother, they were almost completely different renders. For months, this mostly went unnoticed, and anyone who had questioned it was ignored. However, on May 22nd, 2025, the 6v6t Times Discord announced they were hosting a map art competition, where the winners would get ranks on the server. The competition would last for a month, but the submissions would not be Discord images, rather given to the judges on 6v6t so that all the images would be rendered at the same time. Albedo Gang builders Varusu and Aspacia quickly got to work on their submission, and after only a few weeks, they submitted Earth's Reflection, a beautiful 20 by 14 carpet map art, and it quickly became a fan favorite. However, another legendary map artist named Elfin noticed some of the issues with the submission. The image that Albedo Gang posted in their own Discord was much higher quality than the one in the official 6v6t time submission. Notedly, there was no dithering present. The community rapidly discovered the mod, but Albedo Gang deflected the usage, saying that Minecraft's rendering is messed up and the mod is just fixing it. This didn't calm anybody down, as Albedo's maps were absolutely stunning compared to normal renders, and many felt betrayed that this was kept a secret.
Well, hold on a moment, Albedo. This isn't right!
One of those people was a player named Talisman, who quickly reached out to his friends with an idea. These four would eventually become Sniffer Squad. Up until this point, Albedo Gang had the record for the largest map art on the server, a piece called The Voyage of Life Youth, based on the painting by Thomas Cole, and was 55 maps wide and 38 maps tall. Talisman wanted to create a map art record that even Albedo wouldn't be able to break, so he pitched the idea of creating Ashes and making it double the size of The Voyage of Life. So, over the next 2 weeks, Sniffer Squad had 10 bot accounts printing the map 24/7, ultimately leading to the massive 4,000 map art piece that broke records in all of survival Minecraft. Ashes is part of a series of paintings by Yume called the Ashes Collection, which is a collection of 6 paintings inspired after the 2020 California wildfires. The map has also never been copied, as nobody has volunteered to copy 4,000 maps, meaning only a handful of people have seen it in person. Talisman was unable to give me a world download of the build as it may expose the location, but he was happy to provide me with a showing of the work itself. Even after my years of playing Minecraft, it is one of the most impressive things I've ever seen. Albedo Gang would go on to win the 6v6t times map art competition with Earth's Reflection with just a vanilla render, while Ashes wasn't even submitted. Today, when map artists post their map art in Discord, they often include a disclaimer as to whether or not MipMapMip mod was used, or others just include 2 renders. Many players also consider the community to be less toxic now that everyone is building their artworks on the same playing field. I asked 2 seasoned map artists for their opinions on the mod, and here's what they had to say. I think it's a cool mod that should be allowed to be used when taking screenshots of map art. There had been some controversy about that, but if you're open about the usage, it's fine. Due to the way Minecraft poorly renders maps, people have found a solution to prevent color blending and make maps more crisp and detailed. Some people think poorly of the mod because it makes maps look better than they do on vanilla, but I don't see a problem with it, and I think artists or people who collect maps alike will enjoy using this mod. If you're interested in seeing some of the map arts from the community, I'll be including links to the Discords of some of the biggest map artists in the description below. As for me, I've spent a lot of time looking at map arts for the creation of this video, and after speaking to Cappy and Seetbelt, I was provided with a document that explains exactly how to get started with map arts. And I knew just what it would be.